Kaitlin Butts, a Tulsa, Oklahoma singer-songwriter who had her nose to the ground, playing clubs around the country, racking up hits on the Texas charts, went viral with her theatrical song, You Ain't Gotta Die to Be Dead to Me, her first to chart on the Billboard Country Airplay charts. Well, she joined me on the record to talk about how the song came to be and how finding the perfect co-writer and Grammy Award-winning songwriter Natalie Hemby made it happen.
So I brought her that idea. I had written a song with her called Other Girls. And at the end of our write, I was like, I have another one that I am dying to write with you, but I have to go. And I said, you ain't gotta die to be dead to me. You ain't gotta die to be dead to me. And I was like, that's all I have. And I have like a verse or something. And she goes, you ain't gotta be 6 feet deep, pushing up daisies. And I was like, what are you doing right now?
Kaitlin shares a moment that changed the course of her life. Growing up surrounded by musical theater, it wasn't until she saw women on stage telling real stories about heartache, hope, and the world as they saw it, that she realized her own voice had a place in country music. Kaitlin reflects on the moment that inspired her to pick up a guitar and chase her dreams.
Seeing those girls play on that stage and play guitar and also play songs that weren't so bright, and they were about real life experiences in the world as they saw it. And when I saw those women doing that, I was like, that when you can see it, you know that you can be it. And so when I saw that, I just knew I wanted to be that.
Musical theater and her love for the play Oklahoma was the inspiration behind Kaitlin's 17-track album Roadrunner. Songs like Wild Juanita's Cactus Juice and Bang Bang provided a soundtrack to many of the scenes in Oklahoma as interpreted by Kaitlin. And it all came to her very organically.
I started watching it and I was like, I have songs. My brain just started turning. I was like, I have songs that go pair with these visuals.
Well, she's been heralded as one of the most creative songwriters in country music today. Her 17-song album, Roadrunner, critically acclaimed since it came out. We are so excited to have her in studio. Welcome to On the Record, presented by John Deere, here at Starstruck Studios. Kaitlin Butts, good to see you.
Hey, good to see you too.
Boy, so much buzz about you. And I figured, listen, we're going to just throw it out there and talk about this monster hit. You Ain't Gotta Die to Be Dead to Me.
You ain't.
Talk about this blowing up on TikTok and when you realize this is taking off.
It was around my birthday week. I was at the studio with my husband's band recording, and I just started looking at my phone. My friend Avriana had been making videos with the song. She just really liked it. We're a part of Opry Next Stage class of 2025 together. And so she'd been seeing it live a lot and recording videos, and she's super sweet. And she started making videos, and I started to see, I'd go to my Spotify for artists or whatever, and I'd see like a little spike, and I was like, I need to kind of contribute to this and kind of help fuel it a little bit, make my own videos.
I think I have heard of that man. I heard he got run over by a train, mauled by a bear, maybe, hopefully. You ain't gotta die to be dead to me.
And then Ella Langley made her video, and it just like changed my life.
I mean, from there on and on, not only your peers in country music, but even celebrities.
Yeah.
When I see Valerie Bertinelli, all right, that's an old reference, but I mean.
My mom and aunt freaked out
See, that's
a
what
lot.
I said. I freaked out.
Bethany Frankel, Real Housewives of New York, yeah.
This is crazy. I don't even know how many streams, I mean, but it just went viral, and that's it. Talk about it, because this came together pretty organic. And I heard a story, Natalie Hemby, an incredible writer, and obviously one of your co-collaborators frequently. Talk about coming up with this idea, because this is something that you had, and you knew she was the one to write it with you.
Yeah, a common theme in my songs is generational trauma, and basically like telling the people in your life that don't deserve you to KMA. And so I wanted to, my last album was pretty dark and about real life stuff like substance abuse, domestic violence, generational trauma. And for this next one, Roadrunner, I wanted it to be like the lighter side of that and what happens when you do lead those toxic people. And you can just say you ain't gotta die to be dead to me. And so I brought her that idea. I had written a song with her called Other Girls. And at the end of our write, I was like, I have another one that I am dying to write with you, but I have to go. And I said, you ain't gotta die to be dead to me. You ain't gotta die to be dead to me. And I was like, that's all I have. And I have like a verse or something. And she goes, you ain't gotta be 6 feet deep, pushing up daisies. And I was like, what are you doing right now? I have to go, but we have to finish that. And in a couple weeks we did. And I'm really proud of it.
When you write the song, automatically the idea of what this video is going to look like?
I knew that I've been really into like old Western vibes and combining that with my musical theater background and just really trying to make something that is very entertaining and definitely like they don't have to die in the video, but I definitely had some ideas.
Yeah. Did you shoot this on set? It looks like there was like where was it? Was this California? Where did you shoot
It's in
this?
LA.
LA, okay.
The last few that I've done have been at a set in LA. I can't remember, they filmed Lady Gaga's 911 music video there, but it's this old Mexican like Western cantina movie set, and we had like a live a rattlesnake person on site to like catch any wild ones around. So I was like, we caught a probably 4 or 5 foot rattlesnake, the first one, the only one, and I was like, we're using that in the video, and he's starring at the very end. You got to make it to the end.
I love that the music trailer also came out. I mean, this was a big production. What was it? Justice wears lipstick and spurs. Is that right? Yeah, just a great line. Let's go ahead and play it. Can we do it?
Yeah.
Let's go and take a look. Here it is. Kaitlin Butts.
You are safe here, my son. This is your sanctuary now. Bless you, my son.
Oh.
There's nothing much more I can do for you.
My mama taught me when I was a girl.
What the hell?
If a man is a problem, take him out of your world. Leave room for the sunshine and no room for clouds. Just pretend he's no longer around and say,
Hey! What it? We don't want you and your kind.
Do you understand me?
you ain't gotta die to be dead to me. You ain't gotta die to be dead to me. Well, you ain't gotta be 6 feet deep, pushing up daisies up through concrete. No, you ain't gotta die to be dead to me. Oh, no. He was drinking and a hollering, and you know how that goes. He was talking to women that mama don't know. So when they surely ask me, how's your daddy been? I say, who? I have never heard of him. You know, I think I have heard of that man. I heard he got run over by a train, mauled by a bear, maybe, hopefully. You ain't gotta die to be dead to me. You ain't gotta die to be dead to me. Well, you ain't gotta be 6 feet deep, pushing up daisies up through concrete. No, you ain't gotta die to be dead to me. Oh, no.
By the way, the mirror, the gun shooting off the finger, brilliant.
Oh, some Annie Oakley stuff going on.
That was a major shooting.
Yeah.
You know, the line in there, and again, is spoken word, and that's really what a lot of your buddies really kind of played off of this TikTok going viral like it did. It seems like spoken word is really happening in music, and it's not something that's new, but it seems like it's back right now. And I don't know if you were consciously put that in because it's hot, or is this, I feel like you don't pay attention to the charts, or it's like you're just going to write what you write.
Yeah. I feel like my theater background, that's just kind of like woven in, but I also love like Conway Twitty and him pulling in those like really talky, but there's also humor in it too. Like I feel like that's the best way for me to get it across, is just to like talk like I would at a live show, is just kind of put in little filler humor in between lines.
Having some humor, and you keep mentioning, of course, the trauma that you went through. The line in there, kind of about, you know, getting hit by the train or mauled by a bear, hopefully. that's something that is repetitive through your music. It's something that it's personal to you, something that you went through. You and I, before we went to camera, we were talking about the song called Blood, a song that you co-wrote with Angelina Presley. Speak to that, the therapeutic, I guess, maybe the way that you can get that out and have it out there, and the reaction that you're getting from some of the audience members or fans that maybe had gone through the same thing.
Yeah, in writing a song called Blood with Angelina, I was going through, I was having to deal with a very narcissistic personality and in my life, and I just didn't know, it's such a unique disorder that if you haven't experienced a true narcissist, it's so hard to get away from them or like understand their manipulation techniques. And whenever I walked into that room with her, I was obviously really nervous, but we started talking about our family and just how we accept certain behaviors from our family that we would never accept from our friends, and how we shouldn't do that. But it was something that I felt pretty alone in dealing with. And then writing with her, she and I, was like, we're both dealing with the same person. And the more I've played that song and and played You Ain't Gotta Die, they're all about the same person in my life, but I get walked up to after shows and people are just so excited to tell me about their person that they've dealt with and how I've kind of laid out that person and kind of explained it a little bit more to them or helped them feel like they're not alone in it. And so it's felt really cathartic. I get kind of trauma dumped sometimes, and that's okay, but it's all about sharing your story and getting out of it too.
Getting out of it and dealing with it too with a sense of humor. You mentioned, of course, your love of musicals. We're going to talk about that. Roadrunner, your 17-track album that you've released, like I said, critical acclaim. It keeps pouring in, just song after song. Like I said, probably one of the most creative writers that we have in music today right now.
That's so nice. Thank you.
We're going to talk about that and how the musical Oklahoma inspired the new album. Stay with us when we come back.
Driving through Fort Worth and heard my song Gal Like Me on the radio. It's about not needing a man. And then he had this breakup song, and his friend said, this song is so sad, it's depressing, it's so sad that you should have a female voice on it to brighten it up a little bit. And he thought about the girl they heard on the radio, and that was me.
Welcome back to On the Record, spending time with Kaitlin Butts, and we were talking about the musical Oklahoma, big influence on this album. You cover some songs by Cher, Bang Bang, Kesha, Hunt You Down. Yeah. Talk about that, and was that something that you wanted to do or just fit this narrative of this musical?
I love Bang Bang so much. It's my favorite movie, Kill Bill, several times in that movie, but I just love the feel of it, but I wanted it to be like you're Judd and you're just like, you got murdered and you got shut down by your crush, and he's just being dramatic and playing the victim, and then he gets shot down. And then I have Hunt You Down by Kesha, which is a song that I really wish I had written. That's just one of those songs that I just fell in love with. And I have a list of covers that I've always wanted to do and try to find my way to incorporate it into what I'm doing. But I watched the scene All or Nothing where Ada Wanney and Will Parker are telling each other, basically, it's all or nothing with me, but it's Hunt You Down is like, if you mess around, I'll hunt you down. So it's pretty much like the more up-to-date version of All or Nothing.
I love it. Well, I said they're going to see a lot of the parallels. Vince Gill, one of the guests, not only your husband, Cleto, of course, on the album, Vince Gill on the album.
Yeah, which is so casual.
Yeah, right? I mean, but did he, let's talk about the Vince Gill song. Did he realize where you got the idea for the song?
I don't know.
When you tell a guy to rest your head on your chest and...
I think Vince Gill's smart. I think he can put two and two together, and he has a sense of humor. And I don't know if he really knew like the actual origin story, but I had seen this girl in Austin, Texas at a music festival, and she had this tank top on, and across her Dolly Parton-sized chest, it said Cowboy Pillows. And I was like, boom. Oh my God, that's incredible. And I'm so inspired all of a sudden. And so I started writing a song about how women are just these gentle creatures and a soft place to land, if you will. And I was looking for an Oklahoman artist to come sing on the album just generally, and I just met Vince at the Opry, and he was so kind, and he came up to me and he was like, "Hey, Kaitlin, I'm Vince. Give me a hug, okay?" After he just sang like "Go Rest High on That Mountain," he was like walking right up to me, and at the end of our conversation, he said, I'm not that hard to get a hold of. So if you ever need anything, just holler. And I was like, you're going to regret that.
And he means it.
He meant it. And my manager was like, you should call, we should ask. And I was like, Vince Gill is Vince Gill. Like, there's no way. But he said, without even hearing the song, said yes. So then at the Opry, I got to play it and tell the whole story as he's waiting in the wings. And I just see him like laughing over at the side. I think I'll be talking about cowboy pillows and I adore him so much.
Is that a lot of swag? Do you sell that at your, I could just see, you know how many girls would probably be buying those shirts?
There's a girl, her name is, she is Gracie Lou, and she has it trademarked.
Oh,
A smart girl.
Very smart. This song, going back to where we started, it has blown up, as I said. How much has life changed for you? Because I know it's very important to have the balance of, the hard work that you do. You basically live on the road, but this really seems like it's just blown up.
It's blown up. I feel like my life has really a lot of times stayed the same, but we just went on tour with Lainey Wilson, which was definitely not the same as what I've been doing. I just see more and more people recognizing the song and putting my name with the song too. And life is, you just gotta have balance and just keep going at it. But it definitely does feel like hard work is starting to pay off after a long time of doing it.
In 2026, out with Lainey, you going to Australia.
Yes.
Looking forward to it, no doubt.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
It's going to be a big one. I have to tell you, as I'm looking at your songs and I'm thinking kind of leaning towards that kind of, I say dramedy, dark comedy. I'll be so curious to know what you binge watch.
Oh my God. I binge watch just anything that's on Netflix. I watch Handmaid's Tale. I watch.
There we go. See I get that.
I love Sex and the City right now. I can't stop watching it. I'm like, they're finally like relating to it. I'm like a 32-year-old woman, so it's like but I also don't live in New York City. Anyways, I watch so much. I watch a lot of comfort shows. I watch lots of movies over and over again. I think that is a symptom of something that I have.
Kind of nostalgia, I think, a little bit.
Yeah.
That people do. I know so many people that do that, and they kind of find
My
a little
comfort
piece.
movies.
Yeah, absolutely. It's your go-to.
But when my comfort movie is like Inglourious Bastards, I don't know.
I think that's where the creativity comes from. We get it across the board. That's why I super
Dark comedy.
Dark comedy. I love it. Absolutely. It plays for sure. Yeah. Kaitlin Butts, what a pleasure getting to spend time with you. Again, much continued success and congratulations. Roadrunner, the album. You're watching On the Record, presented by John Deere. This is Kaitlin Butts. We'll see you next time.